All right, so we're going to be covering some heat today. We got some serious bangers in here. I'm going to be going over 20 perfect 10 fragrances that you're going to be guaranteed to fall in love with. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. The title explains it all. I'm sure you guys know what you're in for here. We're going to be looking at some amazing masterpiece scents that you can really add to your collection in 2023 to level up and maybe to give you something new if you haven't picked up some of these yet. Now, I will provide links to these down below to discounters, so if I reference pricing or anything, it's going to be through discounters. That's how you'll get the best deal all the time. You can save a ton of money. I'm posting deals on my community tab all the time. I have a mailing list you can sign up to, and you can get those deals directly there. I'm going to run through all of these really quick because we have, again, 20 to go through here, and I don't want this video to be 40 minutes long. So let's just get into it. Ralph Lauren Purple Label. Okay, so this one's interesting. It's got blackberry, it's got sage, there's some thyme in here, very aromatic heavy, some mahogany woods in here, some oak moss. Gets compared to Bond No. 9 Bleecker Street, although this came out in 2003, 2 years before Bleecker Street. So cool little tidbit of information there. This one's a little bit more affordable, but ultimately it's a very nice masculine, classy men's designer scent that truly is something different. L'Instant de Guerlain Eau de Parfum. This one has patchouli, cacao, some other woods going on. Very classic, very mature, very traditional. So this is not going to be for the teenagers out there and even the guys in their early 20s. Granted, I like it, but I'm a little bit weird, okay? Make sure you go into this one with a grain of salt. Make sure you do your research first. But if you want a classic, you want something more traditional, this is a great one to have for not a lot of money. Alrighty, next up, SPICEBOMB Extreme. This one can be for kind of a broader spectrum of age range here. Now this one has tobacco, vanilla, black pepper. It's sweet, it's masculine, it's kind of spicy, of course. SPICEBOMB has a little bit of a red tobacco kind of texture to it. It's one of my favorite men's designer scents. It's one of my favorite men's designer winter fragrances of all time. This one consistently makes it in my winter lists, and that will pretty much never change as long as they're making this. To me, this is a definite must-have for pretty much any guy out there. Kind of following in a similar trend in terms of winter bangers here, we have Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Now this has vanilla, it's got benzoin, ambroxan. For the vanilla lovers only. If you do not really love and have a passion for the note of vanilla in men's perfumery, then this is not going to be for you because that is all this is. Now, if you like men's vanilla scents and you really want something that focuses heavily on it for a good price with great quality and great performance, to me, this is a no-brainer. Moving along, we have another affordable one here, usually around $40. AZZARO Pour Homme Intense. Now this one has brandy and cinnamon along with the lavender and the other aromatics of the original AZZARO Pour Homme. So you get some of that aromatic fougere, older style smell, but a heavy-handed dose of booze and warm spices and cinnamon over top to give it a sweetness and a nighttime appeal and even a little bit of a gourmand smell. Now, personally, I think this is miles better than the original AZZARO Pour Homme, and I have a big love for barbershop-style aromatic fougères. So to me, that's saying something. This is an amazing flanker. Next up, pretty much the only niche product in this list that has a niche price, that is Parfums de Marly Layton. Look, I just think it's a masterpiece. I love everything about it. You could also throw in something like Harrod or Carlisle, a couple of my other favorites on the sweeter side. They really have a lot going for them. However, mass appeal-wise and generally the most likability is going to come from something like Layton. And personally, I think this is a great starter niche scent. I think it's one that can really open you up to the world. And if you have some money sitting around and you want to treat yourself to a luxury cologne, this would be a great one to start with. Next up, Valentino Uomo, the original. So this one has a bunch of interesting notes like hazelnut, dark chocolate, coffee, and leather. Delicious gourmand, very high-end, very classy, and it's one that I just can't get enough of. Every time I smell this stuff, I think it smells amazing. It's gorgeous. Something new comes about it every time I smell it. I just kind of discover something new and different that I like about it. And I think for the price, it is a great one to have around, especially if you're on a little bit of a budget in terms of you don't want to dive into some niche gourmand. This is a great one to have for wintertime and you get great quality to price ratio. Now this next one here is also amazing, and I think it will go down in history of being one of the best fragrance releases from the brand. I know that sounds crazy, but it's Sauvage Elixir. So this one is already off to such an overwhelmingly positive start. There's already a very popular clone out there, Lattafa Assad, that you can get. That's also very close. But this DNA, I'm telling you guys, is amazing. It's a powerhouse beast mode scent, so strong, but still maintains some versatility. It still has a very nice masculine kind of mature smell about it. It's all about the cinnamon, licorice, nutmeg, a whole bunch of warm spices, some aromatics in here. This stuff is amazing, and if you guys haven't jumped on the hype train yet, you got to do it at some point. Let's go over just a true gentleman's classic. We are going old school and we are stripping it way back with Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. No frills, no fancy flankers, just the original. I think this is an amazing masterpiece of a scent, and I've been saying that ever since the very beginning of my channel. You guys know I'm not making this up at random. This is one of my favorites. To me, it's the perfect gentlemanly apple smelling scent, although there is actually no apple listed. You get ginger, you get spices, some bergamot, and some lemon, but to me, it has a fruity apple kind of warm spice about it. Almost just kind of reminds me of the season of fall, going to the apple orchard, that sort of thing. Again, a true gentleman's classic that smells amazing and is a timeless scent. Newer scent up next, AZZARO, the Most Wanted Parfum. It's got a nice bourbon vanilla accord. You get some ginger and some general woods, bit of cedar wood, sandalwood creaminess. And again, the bourbon vanilla kind of gives off a booziness. Has a little bit of a grape, fizzy grape soda smell off the top, kind of similar to Dunhill Icon, which is kind of unique, but it does divert from that pretty quickly and goes into a smoother, sweeter, vanillic, woody, dry down, very typical of the AZZARO Wanted DNA, more so closer to the Most Wanted with that sweetness. I think it's really nice. One of my favorite flankers. There's something addicting about this stuff, and it smells amazing. I could sit and smell this for hours. Kind of a similar looking coloration next in terms of the gradient. Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Chestnut, iris, and whiskey in here. Truly a masterpiece. I mean, this is, if I had to choose, my favorite and to me the best gentleman flanker and gentleman flanker. I guess it is gentleman. Gentleman and gentleman flanker, the best one that they have put out, at least so far. So it still has that iris DNA, but a boozy gourmand take with that chestnut and that whiskey in here. It is a great combination, great performer, super delicious. I just love this stuff. Up next, nice citrusy scent here, going back to summer with Terre d'Hermès Eau Givrée, which is a replacement to Eau Très Fresh, which has been discontinued due to reformulation issues. This one's got a nice citron accord in here. Still getting some of that vetiver and some of the woods and some of that orange, some other citruses going on. Just truly a summertime, more wearable version of Terre d'Hermès, which in and of itself can be a little bit tough to pull off sometimes for certain people. I love my parfums, and this one is no exception. DIOR Fahrenheit Parfum out of the in-production Fahrenheit flankers. This is my favorite. You get that violet leaf DNA, very, very classic, and it's a staple to this DNA. But then you also get a little bit of suede, a little bit of rum. Again, you throw some booze in and I'm always going to love it, and it's no exception here. They did a great job. They sweeten it up. You essentially have a Fahrenheit version for the winter time, and I think that's genius. Nice, affordable, entry-level oud scent. Versace Pour Homme Oud Noir. It's got what it says, oud, some other woods, and that's all you need to know. It's kind of like an affordable Tom Ford oud wood. Now there are some other differences as well, but just to really sum it up, that's kind of how you can look at it. If you're on a budget and you want to get into some oud and you want to have a fighting chance of really liking it a lot, this would be a great place to start, and I highly recommend it. Running down to the end a little bit here, we have John Varvatos Dark Rebel Rider. These have a special place in my heart, always have, always will. I love the John Varvatos fragrances. They do lack a little bit in performance, but they make up for it in the quality to price ratio and the uniqueness to price ratio. Nothing else out there like Dark Rebel and Dark Rebel Rider. Usually these are pretty affordable, however, because they do seem to be discontinued, prices are moving in the upward direction a little bit. So with Dark Rebel Rider, I would get this one sooner rather than later, but you can still get it for a decent price. This one's got leather, olibanum resin, cacao, nice smoky, sweet, almost kind of gourmand leather scent, and I think it is amazing. This list wouldn't be complete without more and more iris, so we'll throw in some more iris. This one is DIOR Homme Intense. Needs no introduction, doesn't need to be described, but I'll do it really quickly. It's iris with a little bit of a chocolatey accord and some lavender. Silky, smooth, sweet, seductive, and just perfect. Now this one's going to be generally a little bit more wearable than maybe the last couple that we've talked about here. From Chanel, it's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. So this one has tonka bean, mint, and orange in here, and it smells so good. I love this DNA. It's so nowadays considered to be so basic, just generic. Oh, it's Chanel Allure Homme Sport. It had its hype, right? But I do really think that this smells amazing. It's one that I just have a weird liking to, you know, when it's generally kind of warmer rather than colder outside, kind of spring, fall, early summer, cooler summer days, rainy summer days, whatever. I always find myself reaching for this stuff. I don't know what it is about it, but they did something right here. I love it, and I think if you have some money laying around and you want a luxurious designer scent, this would be a great one to have, given you don't want a blue scent like Bleu de Chanel, which I also do think is amazing. All right, Armani Code Absolu. So it has tonka, suede, orange, vanilla to a heavy extent. Another sweet one, and this one will be a little bit more on the perhaps youthful, playful side. However, age doesn't matter with really anything. It just matters about what you like. But if you were to put a demographic on something, which a lot of times can be helpful when describing a scent, this one would be probably more so catering to the younger demographic. It's just the newer style of men's scent, being that it's very heavy-handed on the sweets. That being said, it's a parfum, it's a great performer, has great quality, and for what it's worth, pretty unique. You know, it kind of has a little bit of a Armani Code Profumo going on, but it's a little bit more refined and mature. I think it's a great scent. Now, this next one actually kind of follows in a similar trend. It's basically just powdery to the extreme. Prada Luna Rossa Black. It's all about the tonka bean and amber. It's basically it. So very dusty, very powdery. Not your typical masculine scent. Very sweet, you know. It's different, but again, there's something about it that's almost intriguing, almost fascinating. I just think this smells amazing. I love this DNA, and for the price, generally it's retail or bust. This one will pop up on discounters occasionally, and you could scoop it up, and it always goes quick. That's why I recommend you guys to sign up to the mailing list and watch my community tab, because this did recently come in stock for 20 bucks off of retail. So make sure you're watching, but regardless, even at retail, it's worth it. At $80, it's more than worth it. I love this stuff. And we'll finally end this video with Hugo Boss Bottled Oud. So I really have taken a liking to this one. I do believe it was a kind of middle of 2022 pickup, so still relatively new to the collection. Got it last year. I think I kind of picked it up gearing up towards fall and winter, and it was one where as soon as I got it in and I started testing it, I fell in love immediately. I'm like, this is really, really nice, because it ties back to the Boss Bottled Intense Eau de Parfum DNA, that nice apple pie, sweet, warm, spicy smell. The only difference is you get a nice little bit of a wearable oud. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing too strong. It really is a nice designer oud. There's nothing that's, you know, like high quality about the oud in here. It's obviously a very synthetic designer oud. That being said, I think that's what makes it good. It's super easy to pull off. It's still very versatile, and a lot of you guys would really like this one as well. It's less oudy than even something like Versace Pour Homme, which is still very easy to pull off. So there's nothing to be afraid of here. I think this is amazing. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 20 perfect 10 men's designer fragrances that you're guaranteed to love. Links will be down below. Deals will be on my community tab. Make sure you're checking in over there so you don't miss out. And again, you can hit that first link down below and sign up to the mailing list, and you can get some amazing deals directly to your inbox so you don't miss out. I did drop some generally harder to find gems in here because they deserve it. And if they're not in stock right now, I promise you, if you sign up to the mailing list, if you watch the community tab, you will be able to pick them up when they come in stock, because I will post about it. I promise you guys. You watch those areas and you will be able to get some amazing deals. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.